Thanks for tuning in to Chats with Your Self-Worth BFF. This is your host, Michaela Falar, where we are here to skyrocket your self-worth, heal your shit, and take your power back. Welcome to the chat. Hi, good morning, and welcome back to Chats with Your Self-Worth BFF. This is Michaela Falar, your host. It's Thursday morning here. I am doing a morning podcast, and I literally am still in my workout clothes from my vinyasa flow this morning. And I was like, I had this realization, and I don't know what it is about yoga, but man, it makes me, well, actually, I do, because I meditate for about 30 minutes before I even go into yoga. And then the entire yoga practice is obviously part meditation. So I just am meditating and thinking and not thinking at the same time, but letting things come to me as they come. I let them go. You know how meditation works, or you should if you're listening to my podcast. But I digress. So I'm in my flow this morning, and I already had kind of the realization of this earlier this week. And it's just been this ongoing thing that's been coming to me. And in my podcast, episodes prior to this one, I've touched on, not putting things up on a pedestal, to take your power back. And what I mean by taking your power back and taking things off of a pedestal is when you have something up on a pedestal and you're like, I'm not going to feel this until I have that, or I'm not going to feel worthy until I achieve this. Or I'm not going to feel like I'm enough until I have the dream relationship or the dream body. All these things that we want to achieve and these goals that we want to, achieve, they're great. It's so amazing to have goals, of course, yes. But what I'm saying is we can't allow them to dictate the way that we feel about our current reality. We have to be so unbelievably grateful for the things that we currently have in our life, that when we do achieve these things, or when we do get these things, that we don't, it doesn't even affect us. It doesn't even faze us, because we're like, oh, well, our life is already so great, and I'm already so grateful for everything that I do have, that even if I do get XYZ or have XYZ or achieve XYZ, that I'm still going to be the same fucking person that I was before I had any of the things that I have now. And that's easier said than done, I know. We all want to, be successful and have the nice things and have the dream relationship, and some of us think that once we achieve these things that we'll feel a certain way, and it will be the destination. And then you get to that destination, you achieve that thing, you get that thing, and you're like, wait, well, nothing's changed. I still feel the same. And then you're like, what goal do I have to set next? Nothing will ever be good enough for you. And that's why it's so important to be so freaking appreciative and grateful for all of the things and that you have now and where you're at currently now in your life. Because if you aren't, then you're never going to be happy. And lately in my life, I realized that I preach all the time. I'm like, hey, forget the pressure that society puts on you. I turned it's so crazy. I feel like I just turned 30 yesterday, and I'm about to turn 31 in September, and I'm like, wait, where the heck did this year even go? It's mind-blowing to me. And the reason I'm saying this is because when I turned 30, I went through this crisis of oh my God, I'm 30. I am single. I am not where I want to be in my career. I don't even know if I want to do what I'm doing right now. I knew I didn't want to do it, but I didn't know what I was going to do instead of it. And I also my whole life was just it just blew up, it was just right when my life was crazy. Nothing was working out the way that I thought it would. be working out in that time of like turning 30. And so now I'm turning 31 and I'm like, during that time, like over this past year, I've been like, like who cares about what anyone else thinks? I'm going to continue to make my dream a reality, whatever that may be, which, we know that the business that I'm building is not like a normal, quote, like normal business. And it's not something that everyone's doing and not something that everyone's going to understand. And I don't care. I don't care what people think. And I don't like, I'm going to do what makes me happy and what I feel is best for me. And that's not just in business, that's in relationships, that's in dating, that's in just any aspect of my life. And I encourage that, right? And I've always like, especially over the past year, I've always encouraged to like do whatever it is that makes you happy, drown out the noise, push through the noise and through the people that are telling you what you should and shouldn't do. Like if you're not exactly where you want to be in your life right now currently, like who gives a shit? Like time is infinite. It literally doesn't exist. We have created time and Monday through Sunday as a man, like people have created this like Monday through Sunday, 24 hour, like there's this time is just, it just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. And there's that, this can be a whole nother episode. So I'm not even gonna get into like the whole time doesn't exist thing, but that will be an episode. I promise you guys. But I digress. What I'm saying here is that you have your whole life. It doesn't matter what fucking age. You know people that become millionaires at 60, find love at 40, get married, have their first kid at 41. Like there's no timeline. There's this timeline that society has put on us to like, like be a certain way, get married, have kids at a certain age, have a career, go to school, go to college, like have the career, get the 401k. Like it's all what society has put on us. And I'm here to tell you, like, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't exist. It's not real. It is literally an idea that society has engraved into our subconscious mind to make us feel a certain way about our life. It has conditioned us to make us feel like we are not enough if we do not have XYZ, like we are not worthy if we haven't achieved XYZ. And that's fucking bullshit. I'm sorry, but it is. It's bullshit. And I'm here to tell you that if you are not exactly where you want to be in your life, whatever, you will get there eventually. Your time is your time. Your chapter, you might be on chapter 5. Somebody else might be on chapter 20. Like, you don't know. You don't know. So stop looking outside for outside validation of an opinion, like the opinions of others. Like, don't let them get to you. Like, only focus on how you feel and what you want on the inside, and just trust and know that like whatever it is that you're desiring in this life is yours. You wouldn't even have it in your soul contract. You wouldn't even desire it if it wasn't already in your soul contract, is what I'm saying. Like God, source, whatever word resonates best with you would not give you that desire, would not have you feel that way if you didn't already have it within yourself, if it wasn't already in your soul contract, if you were not able to obtain whatever it is that you're desiring in this life, period. End of story. You are worthy because you are. You are enough because you are. Do not let society dictate the way you feel about yourself. And the way that was such a realization in my yoga class this morning was, it's been a while. I started dating again. I digress. So I started dating again. And a part of me is like, oh, like I have to, if you date, and this is something that I realized from like my past to like how I've dated in my past. Whenever I have dated in the past, I'm like, okay, Like I'm dating, like I don't think I've ever dated, like I might be lying, but I don't really think I have. I think it always in the back of my mind, I'm like, I want to get married, have kids, like all the things, right? And like it's like bam, 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 bam. Like that was like always the end goal for me. Um, I didn't really date to just like have fun. Like I dated to get into relationships. Um, I never really dated more than one person at a time. Like I didn't have the energy. I catch feelings. Like I just can't do that. So when what I realized is that like instead of, but like why? Why was I always so in a hurry to get into a relationship and to get married and to get have the kids or whatever? Because I was so in such a rush, which if you know me, you know my past, like I have in my last like 3 relationships rushed into things. And rushing into things is not the way to go. And some people know that and get taught that, and other people have to learn that the hard way. I had to learn it the hard way, okay? So when you date, like I'm trying to figure out like why am I like rushing into things? And it's because I'm like in such a hurry because I think that there's this fucking timeline on my head of like when she turns 35, she's expired goods. Like no. I'm going to be thriving when I'm 35. I am going to look my best, feel my best, like be doing the best in my career and my business. Like when I'm 35, like I'm like I already am all of these things, and I will still be all of those things when I'm 35. You know what I'm saying? Like period. So it's like I'm not like no, you are not expired goods. I am not expired goods. We are not damaged goods either. Like everyone has a fucking past. Get over it. You're going to find your person. Period. End of story. Eventually, will it happen tomorrow? Maybe. Will it happen 5 years from now? Maybe. Either way, be so good with yourself that you don't need that other fucking person. You don't need that that you know, getting married and having kids, and in order to like know that you are worthy, to know that you are enough, to be happy, to be whole. Like you have to be 100% like good on the inside with yourself instead of trying to like rush into things. So me going back into dating this time around, I'm like taking it slow is an understatement. You know? Like I'm not at first when I did catch myself like fantasizing, because of course you fantasize. You're like, oh, what could this person be for me? And then I'm like, wait a minute, why am I even fantasizing? I'm like, I'm literally fantasizing about something that like isn't even like, couldn't even like possibly like probably won't be that. And maybe it will, maybe it won't. But like, why am I thinking about that so far into the future? Like, fucking reel it in. Like, reel it in. Take it one day at a time. Let him take you out on dates. Let him do things for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just chill. Like, I've never been able to just chill. And so it's like so nice now to be on the same page as somebody else, is like just taking it slow and like being like okay with where we are in our lives, like and where we are as far as like dating goes, and not putting pressure on it to like, oh well, it's been X amount of months, so when is he going to ask me to be his girlfriend? Or like when are we going to make it official? Like when do I get to post him on Instagram? Like when do I get, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh well, I'm 30, so I need to, you know, start thinking about like, am I dating for marriage? Like, fuck that. No. The only, like, do I actually want that? Is that what I actually want? Or is it the pressure that society has put into my subconscious mind that's making me think that that's what I fucking want? It's the latter. So I don't like I am totally fine with where I'm at in my life. I love my little house. I love hanging out with my dog. I love being alone. I love creating content for you guys. I love this podcast. I love working on my business. I love everything about my life right now. And I having somebody like starting to date and opening up to somebody again has been challenging, and it's an addition. It's a bonus to my life. I don't need it. It's a bonus. A pleasant bonus, yes, but it's a bonus. I don't need it. I've detached my need for of like it to be this whatever the heck it is that subconsciously is ingrained in my mind for it to become. I'm detaching myself from the outcome, and I'm just enjoying my life currently as it is, where I'm at. Period. I do not want you to think like that if you are, let's say, like you're dating again or whatever, like it's okay to not date for like if that's what you want, if you want to, get married, have kids, move on with your life for the right reasons. If you're ready for that, amazing. Go for it. And be really fucking clear with the person that you're dating that that's what you're dating for. And if you're not, if you're just doing your absolute best to live in the present moment and to go with the flow of life and like accept things for what they are, as long as you are happy and taken care of and content and at peace with your life, there's no stress around the situation, then just let it follow. But when we put things on a pedestal, like getting that dream relationship or achieving that goal or that promotion at work, and being like, well, when I have this, I'm going to get this, or when I have this, I'm going to feel this way. When we do that, it's like we're holding on to a hose. It's like we're trying to water the lawn, right? We're trying to water the grass we're standing on. And because the grass isn't always greener on the other side, it's green where you water it. But when you're holding on to a hose and you're squeezing it so fucking tight, you're like, water, I want you to like come out and, I want you to come out, but it can't come out because you're squeezing the hose so fucking tight that the water isn't coming out. And so once you release your grip on whatever it is that you're going after or wanting, and you just let it flow, the water will flow out the hose and it will water the fucking grass that you're standing on. Bam. So this is my reminder to be grateful for what you have, to be mindful of what you actually want, and not let the pressure that society puts on you to be at a certain place in your life by a certain age. Like, age doesn't have anything to do with it. All that matters is that you're happy and you're at peace in this current moment of your life. That is all that matters. Remember that. Be grateful for what you have. Period. Take whatever it is that you have on that pedestal. Take it off the pedestal. Be grateful for now. Neutralize that thing that you have up on this pedestal. Make the T-chart. Have the plus on one side with all the positives of having this thing that you're desiring to have, and then on the other side a negative, like a negative sign, and all the negative things that would come from having this thing. You neutralize it, because nothing on this planet is good or bad. It's just how we perceive it. So whenever there is a good thing quote good thing and quote bad thing. There's always like two sides to it. There's always a good and a bad to every one thing. So neutralize what it is that's good about having the thing that you want and what it is that's bad about having the thing that you want. Neutralize it. Get it off the fucking pedestal. Be grateful for everything that you have currently. Don't listen to what society has put this pressure on us to look or be or act or do or have at a certain age or at a certain time in our lives. Like, do you. Be happy. Be at peace. That is all I have for you today. I hope you like this episode, and I'm so excited to chat with you soon. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this resonated with you, please make sure you leave a rating and review. Like and subscribe if you are watching on YouTube. Make sure you follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Kayla Cakes, at KAELA.CAKES. Visit my website at MichaelaRyanFalar.com to find out more about my coaching services. All of these links are in the show notes below. Make sure you tune in for next week's episode. New episodes are out every Tuesday and Friday. Chat soon.